Huskies get ready to take on Ball State for that very beautiful Ron Stock trophy on Saturday. Coach, your opening thoughts on what you've seen from Ball State this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Ball State is a team that we've seen a couple weeks now, crossover games, very well coached. Coach Urimovich was here when I was a player, so know him very well. A bunch of guys on their staff have been here, so they're going to have familiarity with NIU playing in Husky Stadium. And we understand it's going to be a challenge. Offensively, everything runs through the quarterback. I think he's a tremendous athlete. He's making a lot of plays for him on offense. The running back, number 9, is a really good running back, one-cut runner with the ability to take it the distance. I believe he was a kickoff returner in this pass. They got some athletic wide receivers that they want to do different things with, get speed and space, or throw balls over the top. And then defensively, they do a nice job mixing in schemes, mixing in coverages, trying to keep you off balance. Obviously they've gotten into a 3-high safety look. Then they can rotate guys down at different points. They like to pressure you, internal pressure. They'll bring corner cat. So they do some nice things to try to keep you off balance from an offensive perspective. And then special teams. I think they do a nice job on special teams. Being aggressive. They got a good punt returner who's unafraid and fearless, and they got a good kickoff returner as well. So I believe the punt returner is number 5 and the kickoff returner is number 4. But 2 guys that are very dynamic and want to create plays on special teams. So we got to make sure we do a good job in that area to not give up any momentum in the game.
21 points on last Saturday. I mean, you got to see some positives on the offense considering what you've done, the games prior to that.
Yeah, we'd love for us to start a little bit faster offensively. But, started to see some semblance of, putting some things together. Obviously, there's a lot that we can clean up, a lot of decision-making we can clean up. But guys are starting to get a feel. I thought we had a good practice this morning outside, and, you see a progression there for us to at least continue to improve and move forward on offense.
And then, Coach, I know this last time our defense didn't have its best day out there with the points it gave up. Just how's that side of the ball responded in these practices since?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I think Ohio did a nice job taking it to us in a physical manner. And so, we have to get back to playing physical. We had a very physical practice this morning. We're going to have another physical practice tomorrow. And at the end of the day, we have to be able to choose violence when you play. And if you choose violence, that gives you a chance to have some success. And obviously, Ohio, they came downhill on us with those backs, and the offensive line and the quarterback made plays. And, I think they watch the tape and understand, okay, no matter what, we have to be a physical outfit. And so it was an intense practice today. We're going to have another intense one tomorrow, and then obviously it needs to show up on Saturday.
You like these trophy games, don't you, on the schedule?
Yeah, I think it's obviously, it's good. It gives you something to focus on. But like I told our players, the trophy just signifies you won the game. And so, we got to do whatever we need to do to try to figure out a way to win a game, and then we can figure out the trophy afterwards. I think it's a beautiful trophy. It's fantastic, and I think that that symbolizes you won the game. So hopefully we can have an opportunity to be in position to win the game on Saturday.
You guys have struggled in these trophy games that you've gotten here against Ball State and Miami. Is there anything you've seen in those games, like a consistent through line that hasn't been working? And what are you hoping to see Saturday to kind of, change that around?
Well, I mean, I think every game has been competitive. So, you just got to make one more play. I mean, you look at the game last year, we took the lead late. I bet in all my games with Ball State, I bet the score differential is probably, 10, 12 points. You're talking in 6 games, I would imagine. It can't be very high. So
15 for the last 7.
It's 15 points? Yeah, I mean, so I mean, is that something to stress about, or is that something to say, okay, we have to figure out a way to make one more point? I mean, make one more play to win the game. So, 15 points in 7 games. That's 2-point differential a game. So, we know it's going to be very competitive. We know it's going to be a tight game. You know, we have to make plays in the fourth quarter to give ourselves a chance to win.
This is kind of an unusual series. I mean, 52 games, you're 25-2. So, I mean, that's kind of weird having a series like this as even as it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, obviously they made it a trophy game for a reason. You know, I think there's always been competitive games going back to when I played. So we understand. Most MAC games are like this, and so we have to be able to play good on all 3 phases to give ourselves a chance to win.
And Coach, I know when I've asked in past weeks about, like, you know, what the meaning does this game have, and you always give that, you know, that you're just trying to get a win. Why wouldn't a game like this have more meaning, seeing as the ways you've lost to this team in the past, the fact that this is an arch rivalry game, and the fact that this will be the last time these teams are scheduled to meet in quite some time?
So you saying this game is more important than any other game that we played? Is that what you're asking me, or I don't?
Why would there not be at least some perceived level of more importance, like with what's at stake almost, compared to like any other game, like a UMass game or a Kent State game?
Yeah, I guess I don't look at it like that. I think you get 12 guaranteed opportunities to play, so every game is important. So if we're going to say this game is more important than the game we just played or any other game that we played, I think you'll be doing yourself a disservice as a competitor. I don't know any competitor that says, hey, this game is more important than another game that I played, unless it's like a championship game or a national championship game. Oh, yeah, this is a bigger. But you get 12 guaranteed opportunities. And so every game, to me, is of equal importance. And so that's like saying, are you going to write better today than you did yesterday? No, you're going to write the same every week, right? And I think that's how we have to look at it from a player's perspective. And the other problem is if you put too much stress and anxiety into one game, right, that's going to help you perform better or perform worse. I think we have to be process-oriented and say, what are the things we need to do to improve as a football team? And number 1, we have to be more physical this week. Number 2, we have to start faster, right? We didn't start fast enough last week. We gave up a punt return for a big punt return, and then all of a sudden, you know, we're behind the 8 ball. Number 3, we have to be able to make plays in key moments. That has to be the focus in the process in order for us to play better. And then we can figure out, did we play well enough to win? And if we did play well enough to win, then we know the reward afterwards. But if you put too much stake into, hey, this is a trophy game and this is then I think that takes away from your preparation and what you need to do to play at your best.
Also, schedule changes for you guys after Saturday, the last Saturday game of the year, then you get back to the weekday games.
Yeah. No, I actually, you know, I know it's not popular, but I actually like the change in the schedule. I think our preparation becomes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they can focus on the academics Monday, Tuesday, and throughout the week. So, you know, obviously this is our last Saturday game for a while, and then we get a little bit of a break. So, you know, how well can we play to figure out a way to get a win, get some good feelings, and then that leads into a little bit longer break and get ready for the next part of the season.
What's the attitude with the players been, I mean, since this streak right now?
Yeah, they've been fantastic. You know, to be honest with you, you know, this is one of my favorite teams to be a part of because when it doesn't go your way, how are you going to act and how are you going to respond? And these guys have been fantastic. Their mentality, their approach, the way they practice. I mean, I think that's the epitome of coaching, right? You don't coach to say you're always going to have success. You coach to say, how do you handle adversity? And these guys are handling it the right way. You know, it's our job to, you know, find ways to put them in position to be more successful. And that's what we're working toward. And I tell them, listen, I take full responsibility for how we played and our record. I mean, you don't worry about that. All you need to worry about is what are the things you need to do to play better this week. And I think that's the most important thing.
Who's starting at QB this week?
Yeah, it'll be Josh. Why would it change? that he played.
I don't know why he changed last time. So.
Oh, yeah, no, he played well. He did some things to help us from an offensive standpoint. I think he can continue to make better decisions as we go, and that would open up some things from an offensive perspective.
How do you like how he played Saturday?
Yeah, I thought he did some nice things. I thought, obviously it was, our most productive play at the quarterback position all season. So, but there are 8 to 10 plays that, he needs to make better decisions with in the run game and the pass game. And if he makes those 8 to 10 decisions better, we'll be more productive on offense. Making the right reads in the run game, making the right reads in the passing game, and giving guys the ability to make plays.
Did you see something in practice last week for you to make the change at quarterback?
It wasn't necessarily something last week. I think it was his approach to being benched. We sent him to the scout team to go against the defense, and he handled that the right way. I think he was humbled. I think he looked at it as, I need to play better and perform better. And, then he came and saw me on Sunday after we played Eastern Michigan and said, hey, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help the team. And I think that approach and mentality is what you want to see, because he could have easily been like, hey, you guys benched me, screw you guys. But he wants to get in the fight and help this team. And I thought he did a lot of nice, positive things last week, but he also can raise his level of play. And I think if he raises his level of play, we'll play better on offense.
Talked to Davidson too about it, and
yeah, I mean, I talked to both of them, and they knew the decision. I mean, it's still, Josh had the tougher road during the season. He played out the tougher teams on our schedule early in the year. We gave Brady an opportunity, Miami and Eastern Michigan, and he's going to be a great player, but it's still a process to get there. And I think, if you're going to be a thrower, which he is, then you have to be an elite processor, and I think that's important. So I told him the other day, make sure you watch the Steelers and the Bengals, right? You got 2 40-year-old quarterbacks that can't run, but they are elite processors. Obviously I was with Joe Flacco for 5 years, and tremendous arm, but also a tremendous processor. And so it's hard to say you are a freshman and you can process like you need to be to make everybody else effective. Now, once he picks that up, the sky is the limit for his ability. He has the arm talent. He has the work ethic. He's an alpha. He has everything you want. Now he just needs to get more reps and feel more comfortable that he can process at a speed that allows him to, hey, I can go 1 to 2 to my check down, whereas other people may go 1 to 2 to scramble, right? He has to go 1 to 2 to check down, and I think that's what we're working on. So if need be, he'll be ready to play, and obviously I think, the quicker he starts to process things, the more effective he's going to be.
You guys, after the game, you and the players were mentioning about the tempo of the offense, how better it was in the second half, and you guys are more designed for that up-tempo offense. Has that been a focal point of making sure that you guys are running that for the full 4 quarters?
Yeah, we have to play faster. Part of the reason we made the change was to be able to play faster. But what happens is you play some of those non-conference games, and if you play faster, then that's going to be maybe to your detriment. And so we got caught in a rabbit hole of, okay, what does it take to play solid against Maryland and Mississippi State? And that became, that slowed us down for a while. And so I thought last week, the second half, we showed some glimpses, but we got to lessen the play calls. We got to have less tags in the offense. Guys have to conceptualize the plays better, which allows the quarterback to play faster, which allows everybody else to think less. And I think that's what happened. We do well in 2-minute offense because it's plays that guys know like the back of their hands. Well, this whole offense should be plays that they know like the back of their hands. So let's lessen the verbiage to a way that these guys can go execute. And we started to do that a little bit more.
Last week was Holt's best performance. How encouraging was that from you?
Yeah, I think it's really encouraging from the standpoint of he also left a lot of plays out there. So, when you look at it, we went through it this morning. I had a cut up for him, and I showed him the plays that he left out there last week. And some of those plays he left out there last week are plays that he's made in practice. So, he can cause a defense to change what they want to do. Because now you have to account for his ability to run. He has a quick release. You have to figure out, how you want to defend the quarterback and how you want to defend the running backs. And then that opens up the play action pass. So we got to take more shots down the field. And to me, when you tie all those things together, now you become a more dangerous offense.
Coach, there was a stat put out recently that D.R. Rodgers is one of the top receivers in the FBS as far as receptions without a drop. I believe it's 35. Just what's it like having a guy like him with such reliable hands in this offense?
Are you trying to jinx him? No? Oh, did they? Hey, oh, yeah. No, I tell you what, he has more than enough drops at practice, but he always say, I'm not going to drop it in the game. So I said, listen, it'd be nice for you to catch every ball in practice so the quarterbacks have tremendous confidence and catch every ball in the game. But I met with our receiver coach today. I think we only have 4 drops on the season, and 3 of them are by the running backs. So, guys are catching the ball. We have to, be a little bit more dynamic with the ball in our hand, yards after catch. But it's always good that, receivers are doing their job. How about Devin Akers going up last week and making a play, 50-50 ball. So, the quarterbacks has tremendous confidence that these guys are going to make plays. Now we have to do some more with it after the catch.
Anything else, guys? All right,
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. See you, Coach.
Landon Roan. Questions for our student athletes.
Quinn, coming off the performance you guys had on defense last week, how's this team, responded to, the Ohio game and what played out there?
Yeah, you got to give credit to Ohio. They just out-physicaled us, obviously, and so we came in, watched the tape, and got it right, and just knowing that, on these practices, we had a very good practice today, very physical, and, we making sure that's emphasis that we're flying around and making sure that we're tackling and really making sure that we're securing the tackle and bringing down guys and all the way until the whistle's blown.
And then this upcoming week, you're facing a Ball State offense. It's very athletic, very speedy, a quarterback who's very much a dual threat. Just how you guys, address that? What's the biggest key to getting that done?
Yeah, obviously just keeping them contained, coming up with different styles on the D-line that you can keep him in the box so when he steps up that he only has one place to go, and that's, not out. It's only up in the middle of the field, and so then, the linebackers can take care of it. And obviously it also helps when, we have scout guys that are giving us great looks. Kenji Lewis is also doing a tremendous job. We put him at quarterback today of him just, mimicking what we're going to see on Saturday.
And then for Landon, just what did you like what you saw from the second half of the offense from Ohio?
I think it gave us a lot of confidence. I've always had confidence in our offense, but I think going into this week, I think we got to keep that urgency and tempo, and hopefully we can do that for 4 quarters.
For I guess both of you, starting with Landon, just you know, the trophy game is a trophy game against Ball State. The trophy games against Miami and Ball State haven't exactly gone the best recently for you guys. Is there something you've seen, like a through line that's maybe not working in these games, and what are you hoping to see Saturday to, you know, turn it around?
I think it's just another game, but games like those, they can get scrappy. I mean, the rivalry games, and I just think that's how they go sometimes. I think we just got to stay focused and play like we would every week.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of that is obviously making sure that we're dominant. Obviously, we know what's at stake. You know, obviously we want to get a trophy. You know, I believe, you know, the season hasn't really gone the way we want it to, obviously, so we can come out with a win, obviously, and get a trophy. That's huge and can swing us in a good momentum heading forward.
And this will be for both of you as well. I mean, NIU's sitting at 1-6, but you know, you guys can still win out, get to a bowl game. You're not dead in the water yet. Just what's the biggest thing for, you know, getting this thing turned around back at this point in the season?
I would say just everyone is still locked in, you know, on board. You know, and I think that's for the leaders to, you know, make sure that the standard is staying the standard. That, you know, if guys are like, you know, I wouldn't say giving up, but just frustrated and don't want to give all 100% effort, that the leaders step in and make sure that, you know, all right, if he's not going to do it, then the next guy up mentality, and just that we keep fighting, because, you know, when we do, you know, get the win on Saturday, it's obviously just going to help us swing the momentum and get to that 6 wins that we need.
Yeah, like you said, we got to keep everybody locked in. Everybody's got to buy in every week. I think the main thing is just win 1 week at a time. We can't think about 2 weeks ahead from now. It's got to be Ball State week, and then next week Toledo, and keep going.
Quinn, you probably get asked this a bunch for all the tackles that you've had this year, because in football, it's not like you're stealing them from other players. Like, you're the one that's out there making all of those plays. What is it like to have everybody, you know, Coach always praised the defensive line for letting you and Philip do what you do, but just to be able to make all of those stops, what is that like?
Yeah, you know, it's obviously, like, it's fun, but, you know, I don't like to brag about myself. You know, I really appreciate when, you know, all 11 of us out there can do a job, that I'm just able to find the ball and get the ball and get it down, you know, right away. And it just, you know, as being the leader on the defense, it's just, you know, that's the type of player you want to play for, is a guy that just flies around and you know, has a lot of enthusiasm out there, and our defense does a tremendous job, and I love it here.
And Quinn, I know, you know, before the season started, media day, we talked about, you know, you wearing the green dot for the defense this season. You kind of coming into that role. Just how do you feel you've grown in that sense over this first half of the season?
Yeah. You know, there's always, obviously, I was always a little, like, concerned when I had the green dot. You know, it's a lot of stress, I guess you could say, on yourself. But, you know, Coach Harley and Coach Conley have done a great job just, you know, keeping the main thing. And obviously, you know, just giving me tips here and there when I'm out there, and he's in my ear, you know. And obviously when I get on the sideline, he's showing me on the iPad what I need to be looking at, or how I can continue to be great. And just moving forward, I believe that it really has just calmed me down to have 2 great leaders out there like Coach Harley and Conley to just have my back no matter what I do.
And Landon, I'm looking at the depth chart right now. It looks like you're made a little switch on the O-line. You're going to be moving to left guard, and Tweedy is going to move into center. Just how do you feel, like, at least moving to that new spot? Is that more of a natural fit for you, or just how do you feel?
I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, just a little different stance, more on the left side. I don't see it as any different, and I trust Meadows' decision, and it's going to work.
Anything else, guys? All right. Thank you, boys.
Thank you.